Hey Gemini, I just pulled cards for you, and honestly, what came through about how people react when they hear your name is so revealing. This reading is specifically about the energy that surrounds you and other people's minds and hearts when your name gets mentioned. Let me walk you through what the cards are showing, because this is genuinely fascinating. So, I shuffled my deck thinking about this question. For Gemini and the energy that comes up when someone speaks your name in conversation. What do they feel? What thoughts cross their mind? What emotions surface? The cards have so much to say about this, and I think you're going to find this really insightful. Let me start pulling cards and we'll see what the universe wants to reveal. About the energetic signature your name carries. In other people's consciousness, the first card that came out is the Three of Wands, and this is already telling me so much about how people perceive you when your name comes up. When someone mentions you, Gemini, there's this immediate sense of possibility and expansion that enters the conversation. The Three of Wands represents looking toward horizons, making plans, and anticipating future success. So when your name gets dropped, people instinctively think about potential and forward movement. What I'm picking up here is that you have this reputation as someone who is always on to the next thing, always exploring, always curious about what's around the corner. When people hear your name, they don't think of someone stagnant or stuck. They think of someone who is actively creating opportunities and pathways. There's an association between your name and the feeling of adventure or possibility. This is interesting because the Three of Wands also shows someone who has sent their ships out to sea and is now waiting to see what returns. So when people think of you, there might be this sense that you're always juggling multiple ventures or interests. They might wonder what you're up to now, what new project or idea has captured your attention. Your name brings a certain restless energy into the room, not in a negative way, but in a way that suggests movement and progress. I'm also getting that when certain people hear your name, especially those who know you professionally or in social settings, they immediately think about collaboration or connection. The Three of Wands is about partnerships that extend your reach. So your name might trigger thoughts like, oh, we should loop them in on this, or they would have interesting ideas about that. You have built an energetic signature that suggests you're someone who opens doors rather than closes them. There's also this element where hearing your name reminds people of their own untapped potential. Because Gemini, you embody that questing, exploring energy so naturally. When your name enters a conversation, it can inspire others to think bigger or more adventurously about their own situations. That's actually a beautiful gift your energy gives to others without you even trying. Moving to the second card, and I pulled the Ten of Wands. Now this is adding another layer to the story, and it's a bit heavier. While the Three of Wands showed the exciting, possibility-filled perception of you, the Ten of Wands is revealing that some people, when they hear your name, also associate you with being busy, overwhelmed, or carrying a lot on your shoulders. The Ten of Wands depicts someone bent under the weight of all the responsibilities they're carrying. So when your name comes up in certain contexts, people might immediately think, oh, they're probably so busy, or I don't want to bother them because they have so much going on. This card suggests that your reputation includes being someone who takes on a lot, perhaps sometimes too much. What's coming through is that people perceive you as capable, and therefore they might assume you're handling multiple responsibilities at once. When someone mentions you, others in the conversation might nod knowingly like, yeah, they're always doing 10 things at once. There's respect in this perception, but there's also this assumption that you're perpetually stretched thin. I'm sensing that this reputation might sometimes work against you in ways you don't realize. Like maybe people don't reach out to you as much as they could because they assume you're too busy. Or maybe opportunities don't come your way because others think you already have a full plate. The energy around your name includes this sense of they're probably already committed to something else. But here's what else the Ten of Wands is showing. When people who care about you hear your name, there's also this instinct to ask, how are they doing? Are they taking care of themselves? Your name triggers a slight concern in people who know you well because they're aware of your tendency to overextend. They associate your name with someone who gives a lot of energy, outward but might not always receive the same in return. There's also something here about people recognizing your work ethic and dedication when they hear your name. The Ten of Wands isn't just about burden, it's also about commitment and follow-through. So your name carries weight in the sense that people know if you say you'll do something, you'll do it. They trust your word and your capability, which is why you probably end up with so many responsibilities in the first place. The third card I'm drawing is the Wheel of Fortune, and wow, this shifts the energy completely. When your name gets mentioned, Gemini, there's also this association with change, luck, and unexpected turns of events. The Wheel of Fortune represents cycles, timing, and the element of fate or fortune in our lives. What this tells me is that your name brings a certain unpredictability into conversations. People might think, with them, you never know what's going to happen, in a way that's actually exciting rather than worrying. There's this sense that when you're involved in something, interesting developments tend to occur. Your presence seems to accelerate the natural cycles of events. I'm getting that some people, when they hear your name, immediately think about times when things changed quickly or unexpectedly in connection with you. Maybe you've been the catalyst for shifts in people's lives, or maybe your own life changes so frequently that others associate your name with transformation and flux. You're someone whose story seems to always be evolving. The Wheel of Fortune also suggests that people view you as someone who rolls with life's ups and downs pretty well. When your name comes up, there might be this acknowledgement that you've been through different phases, different circumstances, and you've adapted to them. People respect that about you. They see you as someone who understands that life is cyclical and nothing stays the same forever. There's also an element here where your name is associated with timing and synchronicity. Like people might have had experiences where you showed up at exactly the right moment, or where connecting with you led to fortunate circumstances. So when they hear your name now, there's this subtle feeling of something interesting might happen, or this could be meaningful. Timing. What's also fascinating about the Wheel of Fortune in this position is that it suggests your name carries different meanings for different people, depending on where they are in their own cycles. For someone going through changes, hearing your name might feel encouraging. For someone seeking stability, your name might feel a bit unsettling because it represents that changeable quality they're trying to avoid, right? Now, let me pull the fourth card, and it's the Six of Cups. This is beautiful, and it's adding so much emotional depth to how people respond when they hear your name. The Six of Cups is the card of nostalgia, innocence, sweet memories, and childhood connections. So when your name gets mentioned, Gemini, for many people, there's an immediate warmth that comes up, a softness, a remembering of good times. What I'm sensing here is that you've left positive imprints on people's memories. When they hear your name, they might immediately recall specific moments shared with you, inside jokes, adventures you had together, or times when you made them laugh. Your name triggers a smile or a warm feeling in people's chests because you're associated with joyful experiences. The Six of Cups suggests that you have this gift of bringing a playful, youthful energy into interactions. So when people think of you, they don't think of someone heavy or serious. They think of someone who can lighten the mood, who remembers to have fun, who doesn't take everything so seriously. Your name brings a breath of fresh air into conversations that might have been getting too heavy. I'm also picking up that for some people, especially those from your past, hearing your name brings up feelings of longing or wishing they could reconnect. The Six of Cups often represents people from our past who we have fond feelings about, so your name might trigger thoughts like, I wonder how they're doing, or I should reach out to them, in people who haven't seen you in a while. There's something really sweet here about how you're remembered. The Six of Cups shows that you've been kind, generous, and present with people in ways they haven't forgotten. When your name comes up, people remember your thoughtfulness, the times you checked in on them, the small gestures you made that meant more than you probably realized. What's also coming through is that your name is associated with a certain innocence or genuine quality. In a world where people can be guarded and strategic, you're remembered as someone who was authentic and real. The Six of Cups values sincerity and simplicity, so when people hear your name, they might feel like they're thinking about someone who doesn't play games or have hidden agendas. The fifth card is the Nine of Wands, and this is showing me another facet of how people perceive you when your name is mentioned. The Nine of Wands depicts someone who has been through battles, who is still standing but showing signs of wear, who is wary but not defeated. When your name comes up, Gemini, there's a recognition of your resilience and strength. People associate your name with someone who has persevered through challenges. There's respect in this perception, because others recognize that you've faced difficulties, and you're still here, still functioning, still moving forward. When they hear your name, they might think about your toughness or your ability to keep going even when things get hard. What I'm picking up is that your name carries this warrior energy in some people's minds. They see you as someone who doesn't give up easily, who has learned to protect themselves and their energy, who has developed boundaries through experience. The Nine of Wands is about being battle-tested, and that's part of your reputation. There's also something here about people being a bit cautious in their approach to you. The Nine of Wands can indicate defensiveness or guardedness, so when your name is mentioned, some people might hesitate before reaching out because they sense you've built walls for good reasons. They respect your boundaries, but they're also aware of them. I'm getting that when certain people hear your name, they think about times when you stood your ground or defended yourself or others. You're remembered for not being a pushover, for having a backbone, for being willing to fight for what matters to you. This gives your name a certain strength in people's minds. The Nine of Wands also suggests that your name brings up awareness of struggles or challenges you've faced. People who know your story, when they hear your name, might feel admiration for how far you've come or what you've overcome. There's an understanding that you've earned your current position through genuine effort and perseverance. Let me draw the sixth card, and it's the Ten of Cups. Oh, Gemini, this is lovely. When your name is mentioned, especially in certain circles or by certain people, it brings up feelings of fulfillment, harmony, and emotional satisfaction. The Ten of Cups is the happiest card in the cup suit, representing joy, family, love, and dreams coming true. What this tells me is that for people who love you, your name is associated with happiness and completeness. When they hear it, they feel a sense of rightness in the world, like thinking about you brings them joy. You're someone whose presence in their lives makes them feel more whole or content. The Ten of Cups suggests that your name might come up in conversations about good times, celebrations, or positive future plans. People say your name when they're talking about gatherings they're looking forward to, or when they're reminiscing about wonderful experiences. You're associated with the good stuff in life. I'm sensing that for your family or chosen family, hearing your name brings immediate warmth and love. You represent connection and belonging to these people. When they mention you, it's with pride and affection. They think of you as someone who contributes to their happiness and sense of stability. There's also something here about how your name is linked to hope and positive outcomes in people's minds. The Ten of Cups is about dreams manifesting, so when people hear your name, they might think about possibilities, about things working out, about happy endings. You carry this optimistic energy that others pick up on. What's beautiful about this card is that it shows you've created meaningful connections with people. Your name isn't just a passing thought for many people. It's connected to deep feelings of love and appreciation. When they say your name, they're also saying someone who matters to me, even if they don't explicitly say those words. The seventh card I pulled is the Ace of Swords, and this brings a completely different energy to the reading. When your name is mentioned, there's also this association with clarity, truth, and sharp intelligence. The Ace of Swords represents breakthrough moments, cutting through confusion, and the power of clear thinking. What's coming through is that people associate your name with intellectual capability and communication skills. When they hear your name in a conversation, they might think they would have a smart take on this, or we should ask them what they think. You've built a reputation as someone who can analyze situations clearly and articulate ideas well. The Ace of Swords suggests that your name brings a certain mental sharpness into the room. People might mention you when they're trying to solve a problem or figure something out because they know you have that ability to see through to the heart of matters. You're someone people think of when they need clarity or a fresh perspective. I'm picking up that your communication style is part of what people remember about you. When your name comes up, people might recall specific things you've said that really landed or made them think differently. The Ace of Swords is about cutting words and powerful truths, so you've left impressions through your way with language. There's also something here about people associating your name with honesty and directness. The Ace of Swords doesn't mess around with sugarcoating, and when people hear your name, they might think about times when you told them what they needed to hear rather than what they wanted to hear. This has earned you respect even if it wasn't always comfortable in the moment. What else is interesting about the Ace of Swords here is that it suggests your name comes up in conversations about new ideas or fresh starts. This card represents the beginning of mental clarity and new ways of thinking, so you might be someone people mention when they're trying to brainstorm or innovate. Your name is linked to mental breakthroughs and aha moments. The eighth card is the Four of Pentacles, and this is revealing something important about how people perceive you. When your name is mentioned, there's sometimes an association with being self-sufficient, careful with resources, or maintaining control over your circumstances. The Four of Pentacles shows someone holding tightly to what they have, sometimes for good reasons, and sometimes perhaps too tightly. What I'm sensing is that people recognize you as someone who has worked to build stability and security for yourself. When they hear your name, they might think about your independence or your ability to manage your resources well. There's respect for how you've created safety and structure in your life. The Four of Pentacles can also suggest that some people perceive you as being a bit guarded with your energy, time, or resources. When your name comes up, there might be an awareness that you're selective about who and what you invest in. People understand that you protect what you've built, and you don't just give yourself away to anyone or anything. I'm picking up that. Your name might be associated with financial awareness or material success in some circles. The Four of Pentacles is very much about resources and stability, so people might think of you as someone who has their life together in practical ways. They see you as responsible and grounded. There's also something here about control and autonomy. When your name is mentioned, people recognize that you value your independence and your ability to make your own choices. The Four of Pentacles holds everything close, and that's how some people perceive your approach to life. You keep what matters to you protected and under your own governance. What's interesting about this card is that it can indicate people see you as someone who has learned to hold your ground and not let others take advantage of you. Your name is associated with having boundaries around your resources, whether that's your time, energy, money, or attention. Some people respect this while others might find it a bit distant. Let me pull the 9th card, and it's the Six of Pentacles. This is fascinating because it shows a balancing act in how people perceive you. When your name is mentioned, especially in contexts involving giving and receiving, people think of you as someone who understands generosity and fairness. The Six of Pentacles shows someone distributing resources in a balanced way. What's coming through is that your name is associated with reciprocity and fair exchange. People recognize that you're willing to help others, but you also expect things to be balanced. When they hear your name, they might think about times when you were generous with them, or they might think about the principle of give and take that you seem to embody. The Six of Pentacles suggests that people view you as someone who has resources to share, whether that's knowledge, connections, money, or time. Your name comes up when people are thinking about who might be able to help with something. But there's also an awareness that you're thoughtful about how you distribute your energy. I'm sensing that you have this reputation as someone who supports others but doesn't enable them. The Six of Pentacles is about empowering people rather than creating dependency. So when your name is mentioned, there's recognition that you help in ways that encourage others to stand on their own feet eventually. There's also something here about how your name brings up questions of worthiness and deservingness. The figure in the Six of Pentacles is deciding who receives and how much, and when people think of you, they might be aware that you have standards and discernment about who you invest your energy in. Not everyone gets equal access to you, and people recognize this. The 10th and final card is the Four of Pentacles appearing again. Wait, I need to check that. Actually, I'm looking at my spread, and the last card is the Four of Swords. Let me read that properly. The Four of Swords is about rest, recuperation, and taking time away from the battle. When your name is mentioned, Gemini, there's also this association with needing space, taking breaks, or stepping back to recharge. What I'm picking up is that people recognize you as someone who values their alone time and peace. When your name comes up, especially among people who know you well, there's an understanding that you need periods of withdrawal to maintain your energy. They respect that about you, and they don't take it personally when you need to retreat. The Four of Swords suggests that your name might be associated with introspection and inner work. People think of you as someone who reflects on things, who takes time to process experiences, who doesn't just react immediately to everything that happens. There's a contemplative quality that people associate with you. I'm sensing that when certain people hear your name, they might wonder if you're doing okay or if you're getting enough rest. The Four of Swords is about recovery, so there's sometimes concern from people who care about you that you might be burning yourself out with all you do. Your name triggers a caring response in them. There's also something here about mental clarity and meditation. The Four of Swords is deeply connected to the mind and to the practice of stilling mental chatter. When people think of you, they might associate you with being thoughtful, measured, and considerate in your approach to things. You're not someone who just flies off the handle or acts without thinking. What's beautiful about the Four of Swords is that it shows people respect your need for boundaries and space. When your name comes up, there's an acknowledgement that you're someone who knows how to take care of yourself by stepping back when necessary. They see this as wisdom rather than weakness. So Gemini, let me bring all of this together for you. When someone says your name, the energy they feel is incredibly multifaceted. They think of possibility and forward movement thanks to that Three of Wands energy. They recognize your capability, but also your tendency to take on a lot. With the Ten of Wands, they associate you with change and fortunate timing through the Wheel of Fortune. Your name brings up warm memories and genuine affection shown by the Six of Cups. People respect your resilience and battle-tested strength from the Nine of Wands. They feel happiness and emotional fulfillment when thinking of you as the Ten of Cups revealed. They value your intelligence and clarity from the Ace of Swords. People see you as self-sufficient and protective of what you've built through the Four of Pentacles. They appreciate your sense of fairness and reciprocity shown in the Six of Pentacles. And they respect your need for rest and reflection indicated by the Four of Swords. What strikes me most about this reading is how complex and rich the energy around your name really is. You're not easily categorized or simply defined. Different people experience different facets of you depending on their relationship with you and their own circumstances. That's actually a gift, because it means you're a fully dimensional person who shows up authentically in various contexts. The common threads I see are that people respect you. They associate you with positive change and growth. They value your intelligence and communication skills, and they recognize both your strength and your humanity. Your name doesn't bring up indifference, it brings up real feelings and genuine associations. That means you're making an impact, you're being remembered, and you matter to the people in your life. If there's anything to be mindful of, it might be around that Ten of Wands energy where people assume you're always busy or don't need support. Make sure the people who matter know that you're human too, and that you appreciate being checked on and included even if you seem like you have everything handled. Overall, Gemini, the energy people feel when they hear your name is one of respect, warmth, intelligence, and dynamic forward motion. You've created a presence in this world that resonates with people in meaningful ways. That's something to feel good about,